a very, very bad place mentally right now.
It's a terrible mindset to have to give up. Mistakes can always be made. We've seen it time and time again. I personally feel that CJ, assistant coach, is one of the best coaches in the world in competitive gaming. It's good to have him in your corner in this moment, because if ByuL were here alone, I would see no chance he comes back and wins this. We're going into Game 5 on Terraform. Decide who is going to the semifinals, ByuL or INnoVation. Down to the bottom right. The underdog was ahead in this series. Can he bring it back? In the final game, it's ByuL.
Looking so frustrated after Game 4. Unbelievable. This guy is something to say, Wolf.
It says throw the mechanic in the bush.
Sure. Throw it in the bush. Steven lost out in the outback up here in the top left. We do have INnoVation looking for that mech once again.
Now, the bush is a reference to the line of sight blockers, because that's the term for that type of, appearance on the map that comes from League of Legends. Of course, the bushes that are in the bot lane, for example, or the top lane, or what have you. They're line of sight blockers, but they're called bushes in League of Legends, and no doubt he's referring to the bushes on this map. It's covered with line of sight blockers. So if the Zerg lies in wait behind those, sometimes you can get some good abducts or have a good Hydra engagement, but there's usually so many Vikings and so much vision and turrets and sensor towers that, like, past the early game, you're never going to be able to use those line of sight blockers against a meching Terran. We did see Rogue play incredibly well with Mass Vipers on this map versus ByuL. I'd love to see ByuL do that kind of style, but he seems a bit set in his ways.
He's set in his ways, and he seems to be overly frustrated about it, which leads me to believe that he's not willing to try anything else either. This is something he might have been practicing for, and he's like, well, this just has no answer. I give up. And he gave up that last game in a big way. Granted, that map is pretty frustrating to play on, especially if it's halved by mech like that.
Yeah.
There's little answers to be done, but I think this time around, or at least I hope, he gets some more rogue-inspired sort of play with those Vipers.
Now, just taking a look at this not this group, but this matchup, I feel like our producer who makes these sort of storylines, the quotes and whatnot, break the wall. I feel like that's kind of been ByuL's approach. Break the wall with Hydra, some Vipers, Ultralisk, but every attempt has been so lackluster. It's just been so, I don't want to say half committed to, but it's like he can't find a way. He doesn't go for the big engagement. He loses a bunch of Hydras. He's got this massive bank, but he doesn't know what to do with it. I feel like go around the wall, go under the wall, man. Like the game we saw in Expedition Lost. Try to do an all-in. It's somewhat predictable. It's not good on the map, but I think it's his best bet, especially considering his mindset.
Yeah, he needs to find something like that, right? Like maybe even like Overlord drops, do something out of the box, something aggressive. Don't let INnoVation get into that comfy zone, because he's only playing for that late game, the 200 pop invulnerable armies to the late game. Before then, there's a lot of holes.
Yeah, I just feel like if I see a fusion core on the production tab, I know I could put the mic down and go home. Like if it gets to that point, ByuL today has been completely incapable of handling the situation. And ByuL is a great player, world class. Some would argue best player in the world right now, or best Zerg, I should say.
He's
certainly, in the world.
Certainly one of the best Zergs right now, and he's a god against Bioterran. But this is a completely different style. This is a style that's really throwing him off. Look at this drone. What do you got planned?
Hidden base, perhaps.
Maybe that would be cool. Maybe bottom left. Maybe start mining from INnoVation's side of the map this early.
If he takes the 9 o'clock base, he could reinforce an all-in from it. Okay, he's going to take the gold, which has a similar sort of idea. I think this leads into a timing. I think this is smart.
You think this is a timing?
I think so. But he doesn't. We don't have any evidence of it just yet. He's still droning, and he doesn't have a lair. But he is building gas. We could see a Roach Warren go down at any moment. But he's definitely going to need... I feel like if he's going this late... I think it's a timing because it builds enough minerals to attack. It also gives that reinforcing power. I'd like to see Roaches here. The lair gives potential for Nidus as well, which honestly I would love to see. Think outside the box here.
I think we will see more of the same meter opening, but it'll be a stronger Roach follow-up.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going to see from here, but we'll see when that Roach Warren goes down. If it goes down in the next few seconds, it will just be fast Roach, but beyond that...
Yeah, Evolution Chamber. A lot of links being made here, but mostly probably just for the Hellion defense. Oh, he's supply blocked again. He was actually supply blocked for a long time earlier as well. This is really starting to hurt his production.
Yeah, this is kind of an ambitious sort of goal base as well because it can get scouted out by that Viking that's going to be roaming the map. It's a dangerous thing to have. And, I mean, if it gets scouted out, Hellions are going to be all over it. And there's no mining going to be done there because Hellions can sit on the other side, right? Like, they can just destroy it.
Yeah. Hellions... I mean, what are you going to do against that? Spine crawler it up so far away, and it defeats the purpose. You have to invest that much spine. There's nothing here, literally.
Oh, my God.
He can just get on the ramp. Okay, he's not going to.
The surround is good.
Lucky break here for ByuL. Could not be luckier with what just happened.
3 drones, not a big deal, and that removes map control. It means less likely that this gold base will be scattered out.
That's insanely good for ByuL right now. I can't even put it into words.
No, things are just going right so far, but let's see what the next step is. We do see bridge speed +1, 1-1 on the way, but tanks already in the making, so it's been identified already. You know, those Hellions got behind the natural and saw the tech, so no surprises that at least for that.
Yeah. Well, these drones mining from the wrong side. It's going to be a bit painful. Road speed 1-1. Bunch more overlords. I think we're going to see more of what we saw in Expedition. That big Roach 1-1 speed timing. If he can get burrow movement behind this, it could be good too. But he needs to do that initial damage. And he has to kind of snowball this. Just like we saw on Expedition Lost. Okay, a few Widow Mines, a few Siege Tanks as well. He's not actually rushing the Thors this time. I think he kind of figures out what's up.
Looks like it. Oh man, I don't know about this creep spread from ByuL going towards the third base. That's going to give away that the gold has been taken as well. So this is going to put everything on a much shorter timer than I think ByuL would be comfortable doing.
Maybe he wants to bait INnoVation into trying to attack that position than overwhelm the force of Roaches.
Yeah, he's spreading out the creep here. I mean, there's not enough tanks to cover everywhere, but still, it's giving away a lot, and now we're seeing INnoVation prepare himself.
He's going to have 6 tanks in just a moment. 2 Widow Mines here helping out, but a few Roaches are already denying mining at the space, which is a small victory to start things off with. 19 Roaches currently. That creep highway, man, is just going to give him so much quicker reinforcement potential. Killing a Viking here.
Yeah, he's doing well so far, but the tanks are still starting to get in range here. If he can deny this third and keep the creep spread there, that would be a huge, huge blow.
Oh, he's going to go for the sandwich. ByuL is pissed, and he's going for it. Here we go. This could be the game-deciding moment here. He's actually going to try to run past these siege tanks.
Oh,
some hesitation, though.
Things here as well.
Okay, coming up, those Stevos actually give him so much buffer. Widow Mine shot really good. The Vikings with buffer as well.
Man.
And this gets shut down hard.
Completely. I still got a lot of Roaches in the south, but more and more tanks are sieging up, and that tank count remains the same.
There's turrets coming up as well. So burrow movement not going to be as useful, although it is almost finished. He starts +2, but INnoVation holds onto this base. And his comp is just directly countering INnoVation, or ByuL's at this point.
Yeah, there's simply too many tanks, and now rocks go down. An avenue of attack has been denied, and INnoVation stabilizing from here. It's getting a scary point. ByuL is starting to transition into that infestation pit.
Yeah. ByuL needs to take another base.
Yeah, he needs
to take like 2 more bases.
He needs 8 to 10 gas right now. He needs to start building that bank and have a better transitional period. He needs to not do what he did last game. He needs to go into something a little bit more stronger. I want him to try Vipers. I want him to try Broodlords, anything else.
This burrow movement is so gimmicky at this point. There's so many turrets. Oh, this is a terrible place to engage. He's going to actually try to get on top of these siege tanks, though. Just not enough.
2 tanks, not worth it at all.
And he's got so many Vikings to actually buffer for this.
ByuL, he is looking so frustrated right now. He just doesn't have an answer for this, and he's lost so much of his units. He's down 30 supply right now. I don't think we've ever seen someone get so tilted like this. I mean, Rogue has before, but not in a long time.
Well, this is just simply like the next level tilt.
And
it's
like not from losing, it's from the composition he's dealing with. He just doesn't have an answer. He hasn't figured it out himself what he wants to do against this.
Like, there's probably already 6 Reddit threads about this. Like, his mindset is a Reddit thread, man. He's raging.
Yeah.
But actually, like, I think that's the word for this. He's kind of raging a little bit. I mean, I just turned around and looked at his face in the booth behind me. He looks pretty unhappy, man.
Yeah.
He looks insanely out of focus. This is not the ByuL that we've seen fight Mech before. This is not the ByuL we've seen, the world-class player, the GSL finalist from last season. It's not who we're looking at right now. We're looking at a tilted, frustrated player who has no answers right now, man. His face is an angry question mark as he struggles to figure out what to do. 2 Hellions going to get a few kills here, force the entire Roach army back.
Yeah. Well, going into that hive, Hellion does scout it as well. And we do see Hydras behind this, so it's most likely going to be the Vipers from here, but all his gas income beyond that natural has been so delayed from that attack that it's a bad transition.
Yeah. Oh, man. At this point, I feel the frustration. But just simply put, INnoVation's play is too good.
Yeah, he knows exactly how to play this sort of matchup and situation. He made all the right choices from the scouting it. The moment he started making tanks, he skipped the Thors like he didn't do every other game.
Yeah, he's starting to kind of react. He's playing this very well. Not leaving any holes in his play.
Now, Hellbat drops. First time we've seen it this series. Everything's kind of in place to deal with them, though. Multiple spines at every base.
There's 9 Vikings versus the 2 Vipers. Oh, every drone goes down.
Yeah.
And the Hellbat drop hasn't even gone off yet. That's on its way. It looks like Hydras are going to intercept. There are 9 Vikings, I think 11 now, actually, with 2 more finishing. And, like, 15 tanks versus a ground army that ByuL is trying to make. Okay, he does intercept this.
Yeah, he found one of them, but this one, a little bit left open. No spines just yet.
I just feel like the comp that we're seeing from ByuL here is already being directly countered, and he's not changing it up. You know, there's how many Thors are on this map? Are there even any? Like, a Mutalist Switch might have been a better choice of gas. He's got 2 Thors.
Yeah, only 2 Thors, but a sufficient amount of turrets, I think, and Vikings. So he's in a pretty good place to defend against anything that comes his way, so long as it's not too much. And I think we are going to see INnoVation move out. And this is a great timing to do so because what we see from ByuL right now, there's not much here. Only 2 Vipers once again. It's never going to be a sufficient amount to kind of deal with this many tanks on the map.
Or this many Vikings, so they're going to wipe them out before he can even get on top of it. He's got no other air units besides Overlords, so here you go. 1 goes down, saves the second one. This base is sick for INnoVation to take because he can deny that gold base that ByuL took earlier as well as take his own at the same time.
ByuL going to try wrap around.
Oh my god.
Sieged up. There's no answer here. This composition is not going to be
the one that wins
in the game. Yeah,
it's not going to work. And he's just so far behind. What is he going to do? Hope to build a bank, to build compositions again that don't work over and over again? That's what happened last game.
He could even go for Overlord drops in the main. Like, there is such a lack of turrets right now. Even at Nidus, like anything out of the box, anything different. But I feel like ByuL is just simply too frustrated. He just can't think outside that box right now.
Yeah, it's almost like he's trying to make a statement like, look, I can't do it, nobody can do it. It's like, well, there is a sensor tower in the main base, and I do understand the fear of Overlord drops when there are this many Vikings on the map could seriously backfire.
Yeah, it really comes down to them being out of position more than anything else. Look at this, another Hellion wraparound here.
Could actually just grab those drones.
Yeah, he's still going to use some of them.
Okay, good defense here. 2 more CCs on the way.
Oh man, he's just going to take this base as well. He's going to half the map, and there's nothing ByuL can do about it.
I think we're going to see that Fusion Core and Starports in just a minute.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Double Spire. He's got a decent bank. He just has he's got no creep spread, he's got no control, he's got no presence. Like, INnoVation might as well be playing a single-player game right now where he tries to get BCs out the fastest possible time while, like, the AI kind of bothers him sometimes. Like, I mean, he's simply not present on the map. He's now going to move out.
He's going to try here. Maybe this is his best chance, but guess what? Scan goes down. He says hello. And now the Viper's AFK taking heavy hits.
Way too much damage. It's too expensive.
Don't be letting your Vipers be unattended like that.
If you've got like 9 Vipers and you make a mistake like this, it's still painful, but it's like, okay. If you have 4 and you lose 2, that's like half your Vipers right there.
Yeah.
And that's expensive to produce. I mean, even though he has a big bank. He just has no, he's got, like I said, I look at the minimap and I'm like, where is he?
Well,
He's got his blob of units just waiting to die.
If he blinding clouded the planetary and the 2 tanks, he could just snipe it right now. That's it, because everything's out of position. He's not going to do it, though. He didn't take the advantage, but he's going to get some Vikings instead.
I like that he's doing this now. You know, he is trying to do damage. He's trying to find something using the abduct ability, which we didn't see him use all too often in this series. I think it's his best bet to wear a Terran down. INnoVation does not have unlimited money.
Not yet.
Not yet, but he's getting close.
If he gets that bottom left base, it's going to be one step in the right direction. More and more scans going down. Like, INnoVation's just, he sees everything he needs to. He sees the Great Aspire. He's going into Ravens this time.
Yeah, I think he's like realized that Ravens are super, super strong in the late game. He hasn't really been using them. This time he's got the gas and also the flexibility because ByuL is, I mean, let's be frank for a second. Besides those abducts we saw on those Vikings, insanely complacent. He's basically pressuring nothing at all. He's just sitting there. His APM is at 250, but I don't know what he's doing with it. He's making spores.
He could be, looks like, yeah, just spores right now. It's interesting.
He's maybe going to oversupply.
Should be taking the top right bases as well. He has so much space right now to do so. He might as well take advantage of it. Start denying those bases by putting hatcheries there as well is always a bonus idea.
Looks like not an oversupply with those. He just really wants to keep them for his abducts. If you abduct a Viking into that or abduct a BC into that, it's obviously going to have a lot of extra DPS involved.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, taking both bases to the top right really smart. Adds 1 corruptor. I'm going to try to find something with these. Obviously wants to get rid of them if he wants to remax with corruptors anyway, so we can see what he can trade with these.
Yeah, might get a tank for it. Nope, not even a tank.
Not even one.
Not even one. We are seeing more and more Vipers be added. Those 7 Vipers are, we'll make that 9 Vipers.
Okay, so this is smart. I like this.
Oh, more Hellions looking for the hits.
Just a few kills here. So many spines. Worker count dead even. Worker count not that important. Okay, it's time. The fusion core.
Fusion core.
First starports. 3 more orbitals. It's almost this moment, it's like where if you have enough money to make 3 starports and 4 orbitals and a fusion core, you just do it. It's just like, okay, now I have the money, I can afford this. It's like buying a vacation home. You're like, well, I guess I'm about this point in my life. I can actually have this.
I guess I can afford the nice things now.
Yeah, I can have these nice things.
Well,
I've weathered the storm through
thick and thin. You know, I was on 3 base for a while, but then I worked hard for long enough.
You look at the in-base clock, man. He's like, well, he's now in his mid-20s for this in-base in-game clock.
That's right.
Well, I don't even want to know, man. Was late game is going to the 30s.
Fusion core going to get denied here.
Oh, that's actually a pretty big pickoff. No cancel either. You can actually hit these starports. It's actually going to force INnoVation out of position. This gives him an opportunity to find some more damage.
Finally, you find something here. Not much, but it's some.
Pathogen glands. Let's see if we can see some infestors this time.
Looks like he's going back to that style that I do like the mass spore, you know, spore, viper, hydra, and now the broods are on. But he's going to have to start picking away at these Vikings. That's the biggest thing of all right now. Deal with the Vikings with these vipers and hydra, and you're in a great place to push.
All right, pushing those turrets back.
Yeah, he's getting in position for it too.
I think
he should have his hydras with this grouped with these vipers, so they're all in the same place.
I think ByuL is starting to get back into the right kind of mindset, man. He's making some plays here. This is what I like to see.
Well, here we go.
Okay, secret missiles are live here. Pulls back, and
Not that many.
Yeah, not that many good hits. Losing a few of these spore crawlers as well. Minor annoyance.
Only 3 Broodlords left there, which is the problem. It's going to be so scary because once the Broodlords have been dealt with, tanks will have a lot more relevance in this fight.
Okay, going for tech labs again here. We've been forcing auto turrets to be spent here on the defense. Was the fusion core ever remade? I'm not sure about that. Okay, yeah, it was. She got Behemoth on the way.
Yeah.
3 infestors.
All right. That's another trump card. If he manages to get all these Ravens and Vikings together, he can push these bases down in a second.
Look at that. 15k loss versus 10k, but it's still pretty low units lost game for us being at 28 minutes. Sorry.
Tell me about it. Here we go. The abducts are real. Here we go.
Okay, starting to really make some dents here. You know, we can afford to actually kill some Ravens like this. Oh, man, so many Seeker missiles. And not a single one hits home. A lot of energy spent there.
So
5 Corruptor max.
Yeah, he's going to start making more Broodlords behind this. You know, he's only got 1 left over if he wants to keep pushing like this. The Grand Army is still terrifying for INnoVation. He gets a chance to use it. It becomes a problem. Broodlord's always going to keep him back there. And it's all going to be at the dance of the air armies.
14 drone remax. I think he might actually be looking for more spores. Yep. I keep saying remax, but I just mean like that's really spending his bank on. He's not like remaxing in drones.
Yeah. Well, he's back to 76 drones now, so slowly making his way back up there. Maybe took some too much drone damage. His income was just not there anymore.
See some SCB toss here for INnoVation. Gonna get a better max. He's gonna try to take this base. It's pretty tough to take, but it's also tough for ByuL to contest it because he has to move his whole army over there. His army is not as mobile as it once was with all these brutes. Oh, I say all these. He's got a few brutes. He's got basically Vipers flying over dangerous territory. He's always looking for these Vikings to fly over where he can get some good infestor hits on those fungals. I'd even like to see these burrowed. These infestors burrowed would be quite nice.
Yeah, that would be good.
There's a lot of Ravens, but it's still tougher to see those and avoid that.
Yeah, anything to catch them out would be such a perfect idea. Like, because if you do get that fungal, like, it's such a big part of the army that you need.
You can wipe a bank. You know, you kill those Vikings, you kill those Ravens, or both. And that's basically half the supply here.
Well, another base going to be denied for INnoVation. So ByuL finding his way to do some damage finally.
INnoVation with a very late +3. Our observer just pointed that out. It's like insanely late.
Yeah, he forgot that. He certainly forgot that.
I don't even know if he has no armor upgrades either. None.
Getting a little carried away. Maybe ByuL wants to throw this army away. Hard to say. A little too close there with the Hydras.
Maybe he wants to get a few more Corruptors in here. ByuL only has +2 for his air army, and it's not quite done yet, but it's about to be. Which is, at this point, just 7 broods. He's got no Corruptors whatsoever.
That is so many Ravens. 19 Ravens with this army, so he's got all the Seeker missiles he'll ever want against these Broodlords. This could be a big problem. Here we go with the Vikings looking for the abducts. Scans go down. Oh, he even spots the infestors coming up.
Okay, here we go. This is the opportunity here. This is the moment. The infestors back off. Okay, here we go. Oh, this hit could be sick. Okay, so scary there. 1 Raven, 1 tank. It's hard to even click on all those Ravens. I think this time he gets some brutes. Oh my god, here we go! So many Seeker missiles, the bungles go down, but he's actually going to fight underneath this, and that is so much AoE damage on top of the Zerg army. Watch it disappear from 200 to 120 in less than 2 seconds.
Yes, so much damage. I mean, all those Hydras evaporated. You get a lot of those Vikings, though, and look at the bank of INnoVation now. And look at the bank of ByuL. ByuL remaxing right now. Still a great potential here. He needs to start denying more bases, though, and go for more attacks.
He needs those Hydras up on the front lines. 20 of them going to come in here.
2 Ravens remain. So he doesn't really have to worry about those Seeker missiles anymore. Just about finding the right composition. And he went for Ultras. He went at least for a couple of them, which I'm not sure is the right choice here.
He's been on those Ultras, man. He just doesn't stop.
I mean, against an army that has currently 21 tanks, 3 Thors, Why would you go for ground?
Why not Broodlords? Why not Corruptors? Control the sky with your Vipers and a few Hydras, and then go, try to even get some fungals off if you can on those Vikings.
I think it's like his knee jerk. He's like, the moment he can remax, it's always into these Ultras.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's like almost a bad thing to do right now, because he's going to try and fight this, but look how many siege tanks there are.
Turrets blocking, sensor towers. He's always going to be in position.
This might be the one fatal remax he made, because he's going to lose a lot of momentum behind this. He's not going to be able to stop this base from getting up.
Well, 35 minutes here. +3 for his Broodlings and his Ultras is finally finished.
Broodlords are going to pick away at the main base. It's kind of throwing them away. I feel a little bit premature.
Well, he's going to try to distract here. Great blinding clouds on these siege tanks, forcing them to unsiege. And a fungal for the follow-up. This is the best fight ByuL could hope for. Is it going to be enough? The Hydras in the back still doing damage. He's got those BCs. He needs to bring him into the fight. Planetary here will be targeted down by infested Terrans.
It should be enough here. All the tanks siege up at that lower 6 o'clock base, so a lot of things out of position right now.
He's going to continue to push this. The Broodlord's still doing a little bit of damage. Looks like they're finally going to go down.
Oh, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard press. Too many BCs at this point as well.
20 more Hydras and 4 more Ultras. Hydra Ultra. That's the way he wants to go about this. How many queens does he have? 6 queens? Some more queens wouldn't be bad either, to be honest.
I think it's Vipers from here. Like, you need something to deal with these BCs. And these BCs don't have armor. So Hydras are still going to be pretty relevant so long as they're in range.
Yeah, it's a bit shocking that INnoVation never got that armor upgrade. Now it's a bit too expensive. But it would have been much more useful earlier on. These turrets are, like, so aggressive. Queen's like, I'll stop them. She got that one SCV. She get away? No way.
Oh, she stopped.
Stopped too soon. Cut down her prime.
Oh, look at that. It's 182 supply to 197, and the bank of INnoVation is gone. It's just about finding the fights. Both sides here. We've got a bit of a sandwich.
Oh, man, this is such a hard engagement here. But he comes in from the sides, like you said.
Oh, if these tanks are starting to focus fire down the Hydras, though, which is the big deal.
And also the BCs to the top are going to make quick work of this, even without the armor upgrades. This is still actually a pretty good trade. The lack of armor, the lack of plating on these Vikings, the lack of plating on these BCs is really starting to become an issue.
That's right. And Planetary almost went down as well. Just a remax once more. Could be the trick here. Look at all those mules going down. 17. Desperate to try and make the money back, but the biggest problem of all is the gas. No gas at all here.
Oh.
INnoVation on his last legs.
Yeah. This game is just exhausted every part of my mental fortitude, man. Like, this has been such a cool game.
It's been so back and forth.
It was so hopeless for ByuL at the early stages, but he's really starting to turn around.
Oh, big fight once again, but no buffering for these. Tanks are going to do sick damage.
Yeah, he's going to have to back off. Infestor's looking to maybe do something. You know what? With all these Hydras, Neural wouldn't even be a bad choice, I feel. Something he could definitely invest in.
I think he just needs to get Ultras and I think maybe even Zerglings at this point. Something to control the ground that isn't too food heavy. Ultras are good, but Ling Hydra would be able to overwhelm this, and some Vipers would go a long way still, because the BC count's getting huge. You want to try and peel a few of them off before you go for that big fight.
Yeah. Big Hydra attack over here on these rocks to open up another pathway. If he can kill some more of these orbitals, it opens up a little bit more of a doorway to engage. But he doesn't want to stay here too long. That's a death choke point right there.
Yeah, that's a super death choke, and he's sticking around.
Kills 2 of those.
He's committing.
Infestors are going to fight on this. There's no siege tanks. Siege up. He needs to siege those up. He's actually having them in tank mode. But still, this is a lot of damage on ByuL's army. The problem for INnoVation, though, is he loses a few more of these important air units. And he doesn't have a bank, but what is ByuL going to remax with this time? 27 Hydras and 3 more Ultras. I feel like Hydras are not the answer to BCs even without armor. They just don't do as well as you would think they do.
I think you need Corruptors. You need Corruptors. Here we go. 6 on the way. He's going to commit to a few more. 9. I think go all the way with these Corruptors right now. Maybe he's out of larvae there. I think he is. He actually hasn't been injecting as much as he should. So he doesn't have the larvae he needs. With all these remaxes, he's just running out.
Yeah, I think you're right. 8 larvae left. A lot of that just popped from injects, I guess.
Stray Ultras doing damage.
I mean, I guess now that he has done a lot of damage to the Vikings and severely diminished the Viking count, he knows INnoVation can't remax it. Now's the time.
There's another bad fight there. He needs to get his whole army together. He needs to stop fighting with just Hydras.
Now is the time to fight Hydras with the Corruptors, but he lost so many Hydras. Now I think he has to wait again until he's got a better opportunity.
Yeah, the Corruptors are only just hatching now, so you want to wait a little while until the Corruption comes online. You don't want to be fighting before then. You contaminate.
Yeah.
Or Corruption, sorry.
2 free tanks here. Every little thing is important at this stage of the game.
Yeah, you need your tanks against Hydras. You need them so badly in this situation.
Like, he's got no gas bank left. None.
ByuL shouldn't be rushing this. He is in a good place, so he just needs to find the right fight here. Does not want to fight into a planetary. Go around from the north. Shut it down that way.
And wipe out these turrets, just clearing up vision off the map. Those gases probably getting pretty low. This gas is the most vital gas on the map, the gas at the 6 o'clock, and ByuL's looking to take that. INnoVation is spending all of his money on Hellbats, which is a pretty good choice.
Yeah, but he's desperate right now for units. Same time, we're seeing a lot of Corruptors get picked off. Big mistake there.
Yeah, a lot of Yamatos going down here.
He's got to make sure he commits right to these fights. He cannot just be dilly-dallying around the sides and getting picked off by a lot of, Yamatos and Viking shots. He needs to max out. He's maxed out. 10 more Corruptors on the way, but just wait for them. Then go for the fight you need to.
It's just like, for me, I look at this game right now and it's giving me serious stresses because
I think we kind of can see who's going to win this so long as everything goes right in the fight. It's all about the fight. It's about the positioning of the army.
Yeah, because ByuL has a bigger bank, but it's not that much bigger. And if you look at the supplies, it's well, he's max versus 132, but look at the worker count. I mean, the army sizes are really similar. The composition is arguably better for ByuL, I would say. But if he screws it up...
Look at this. So many Hellions looking for the Hydra shots
Oh, my God. This is so smart. He's going to go for this. Oh, total annihilation. Those Corruptors are totally useless. He can actually kite Ultras with these Hellions as well.
Yeah, he could. He could certainly do so.
This is one of the, for me,
Queens.
the top game of all StarCraft history I've ever commentated. This is just such a sick game. We're seeing a little bit of everything here.
Well, it's a great idea. INnoVation still being innovative. Kappa HD.
Kappa HD, man.
Well, here we go. A lot of Corruptors looking, just checking where the army is, but you got to be careful because he's always going to be outranged. He's got to make sure he takes the fight head on and doesn't just poke in and out, or he's just going to lose too much. And we finally see ByuL move to the north here, maybe looking for that attack finally.
More and more Vikings coming online. He's trying to spend every aspect of his bank to actually get those Vikings in here to deal with the Corruptors. If he can fight the Corruptors head on, his ground army can beat the ground army of ByuL. Kiting again against these Ultras. 6 BCs still left online. I think most of them at full health at this point.
Looks like he's looking for the fight finally, looking to deal with this final base of INnoVation. If he can win this fight, ByuL wins the game.
Yeah. INnoVation needs to get ready.
Wow.
He just let it go.
He gave up the planetary just like that. He's thinking about fighting now. INnoVation.
What do you think about Hellbats like this? I feel like he should be using the Hellions in Hellion mode for most of the time unless he knows he's going to fight.
I think he is looking to fight, but everything was just out of position a little too much, so he had to give it up. It looks like INnoVation going for that one last fight there. These Hydras better be in position or they will go down in an instant to all these Hellbats and tanks.
Okay, this is INnoVation's last chance.
Scans go down. Gives ByuL an idea of what's going on here. So many Corruptors in the air. We're sitting at about 41.
Corruption, an important spell here. He's going to want to spam that out. Oh my God, both players are so nervous because they know that this is going to be like one of the last fights if they really commit to it.
This is the game-ending fight here. And look at this, 2 Roaches coming from behind as well, burrowed. It's going to get at least a scat off of the army. Might mean the moment they unsiege, it's going to trigger the attack, and he has unsieged. If ByuL wants to attack, it could be now.
Okay, here it is. Needs to siege up right away. No Corruption being reused really here. A lot of Yamatos going down this ground army. Is it enough?
Oh, it's going to be so close. So many Hydras and Corruptors left over, and down goes the Corruption.
It looks like ByuL's done it. He's going to kill the last of these Vikings. INnoVation drops its supply.
The wall has been broken finally.
He's broken the wall. He's done it. His mind was broken. He was shattered. He was basically done. The crowd is going crazy here. This game, this series will go down in history. GG, ByuL is going to the semifinals.
The ability to rally like that in Game 5 after looking so broken in Game 4 is unbelievable. He finally overcame Mech, something that's considered so imbalanced in this kind of state of the game right now. There's very little answers to it, but ByuL playing that outstanding game number 5.
Such patience, taking a long time to figure out exactly what ratios of units he wanted to build, loving his Hydras. You know, big mistake for INnoVation, as coach is going to have to tell him once he calms down, is, you know, man, you needed that plating. The lack of plating is such a problem in that game we just watched.
It was such a big mistake.